Hi. Editing Karen coming to you to say that the following stories are protected by copyright under the U.S. copyright laws. Each story is the property of the individual reading the story aloud and may not, under any circumstances, be reproduced in any format without express written consent of said owner. All rights are reserved. Welcome to another episode of Sister Sharp and Sister Story Writing. And our leader today was Gemma. She gave us how many words, Dee Dee? 214?
219, 219 words.
219 words. And we had to make up a story. Now, the words were all just in random order sent to us in a list. Now, I don't know how to work like Google Doc sheet thingy, put everything in a grid. So I did what Shalon does and divided everything up into like nouns and verbs, and I taped it all together.
Old school. That's
You
what
know
that
what's
is.
you know what's funny is I did not do that this time.
Really?
Oh,
And I feel like I was more successful with this one than I have been because I if I did it right, I've used all the words and I've only added like 10 or 12.
Hey, that's awesome. I actually feel like I stuck more to the
Assignment.
to what yeah, to the assignment. I understood it a little better by dividing everything out because I could go through and mark things off, and as I was writing I'd be like, okay, I need a noun. So I go check the list and I just pull one out and throw it in. It was kind of like a very long version of Mad Libs.
yes, yes.
Right? Yeah. But you know what's funny is when I would do that with the other ones, I would end up with a bunch of small little filler words left over that I'm like, ah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
did have some of that. I
know.
think I had six that I didn't use.
I had four. I mean, hold on, maybe more than I think I had four. One, two, yeah, I had four. I had it, and of. I started to name the story. I started to name it of it, so I could use all the words.
I didn't give it a name. All right. Dee
Funny.
Dee has volunteered very graciously to go first.
Okay.
Gemma is
Well,
going to go last so that we have a, I don't know,
Surprise.
yeah, a
She
surprise
she's eating
at the
ice
end.
cream at the moment.
Yeah, this is ice cream. If
Oh,
anyone,
okay.
if anyone's wondering.
All right, Dee Dee.
all right. Well, I did name it. I named it Ever.
Ever.
Mhm.
Okay. That's a good name.
Lo-
Where's my volume
Lorraine
control?
Lorraine was 14 years old. She found a strange letter in her grandmother's sewing box. She showed it to her friends, Mira and Junie. The shaky handwriting was unclear. Midnight. Come to Elmridge. To leave it. Bring no mirrors. Signed Jane. For years she had dreamed of that name. At midnight, the three of them crossed the old wooden bridge and went to Elmridge. The thick fog was like cold, sticky fingers wrapping around their arms. The town was silent. No one was there. It had been empty for decades, ever since the dark fog swallowed it. They reached an old chapel, and Mira touched the door. The wood throbbed. It had a heartbeat. The clocks ticked backwards. The windows shimmered and seemed to watch them. Only it wasn't a chapel, it was a forest. Inside, under a crooked tree, stood a smiling barefoot boy with glowing silver eyes. Theo said, Lorraine, you came to Elmridge. He told them Elmridge hadn't disappeared. The town was trapped in a time loop to hide them. The key was a witched mirror that only blood relatives could break. Junie gasps. She reached for him as he grinned. Her reflection in a puddle was wrong, twisted. Shadows somewhere in the trees began to laugh. Fog now thickened, and it began. Lorraine's powers cracked the mirrors, and after that, she knew the truth. The town was the only one of its kind. But had any of the three ever entered Elmridge? The end.
Ooh.
That's really good.
That's good.
Can I say something?
Thank you.
Wait,
Yes.
so it's the character that you made the main character. It's pronounced Lorian.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure because I knew it wasn't Lorraine, but I was like, but okay, Lorian.
Yeah.
Can I say something? If that's close, then I'm way off.
I'm off too, but that's all right.
Like mine is like
As Dee
Sam.
was reading, I'm thinking, and I'm like, I don't think I used that word. I don't think I used that word. I don't think I used that word.
Are you gonna go?
No.
You want
What's
me
your
to go?
thought? What was your thought, Anna? She had a thought, right?
She said that if that was close, she is way off.
Oh,
Okay, I heard that part. Okay.
It was really close. Like that was
is
good.
it?
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, let's see how Mama did. All right. I know a little bit of a backstory with this story because when I was putting the characters together, there was a character that all of a sudden showed up in the list that I was like, I don't understand where this person came from. But Jane, 14, found a letter in her grandmother's old sewing box. The strange, shaky handwriting read, "Come to Elmridge, midnight. Bring only the mirrors." It was signed Lorian. She had dreamed of that name for years. No one had ever went to Elmridge after dark. For decades, the town had been empty ever since the fog swallowed it. She showed it to her friends, Theo and Junie. At midnight, the three of them crossed the old wooden bridge. The fog was cold, thick, and sticky, like silent fingers wrapping around their arms. The town clocks ticked backwards, but the windows seemed to watch them. They reached the old chapel. The door throbbed. It had a heartbeat. Mira touched the wood and it shimmered. Inside, it wasn't a chapel. It was a glowing forest. There, under a crooked tree, stood a boy. Silver eyes and barefoot. Smiling, he said, "You came." It was Lorian. Mira hadn't told them the truth. To hide Lorian's powers, Elmridge disappeared in a time loop. The key was only blood relatives could break the witched mirrors. As she reached in for him, he grinned wrong at her. Junie gasped. The three of them had now entered a reflection in a puddle. It was unclear if any of them would ever leave Elmridge. Mirrors cracked, the fog thickened, shadows and trees twisted. Somewhere it began to laugh. The end.
That is like so close.
That is good.
That's
Yeah.
like that's sister telepathy right there.
On that paper did it say Elmridge?
Yeah.
I've got to go check on Flynn. He's having a stroke about something.
Sister telepathy, Anna says.
Yeah, literally.
Elmridge.
Yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I felt more successful with that one than any of the other ones because I used the words that like most of all the words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use most of them too. I wish I hadn't been having to work all this overtime I was working because I could have spent more time on it,
Mm.
I
But,
added a lot of words in mine.
That's all right.
I'll
New
do the
neighbors are outside playing ball with the dog, and Flynn is going ballistic.
Aw. He's like, play with me, pick me.
He probably thinks that's his ball. He's got no less than 4 outside in the yard. Okay. Anna?
Anna, go.
Okay.
Speak up so they can hear you.
Can I say anything else?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. The town was silent. Mira was 14 years old and she had strange friends and dreamed of strange things. One night, it was dark and the sun was setting. She decided to go into the forest. She was walking along a path when she saw a boy under a crooked tree. She quickly helped him get the tree off his bruised legs. She assumed he had been there since noon. Mira asked him what his name was, and he told her his name was Lorian. He thanked her, then walked off. Mira quickly followed him, and she asked, "What are you doing?" He told her that he was looking for a cursed mirror to bring it back to the museum where it belonged. At first, she didn't believe him. I mean, cursed, that's obviously fake, right? Suddenly, he screamed, "Watch out!" A barefoot, smiling, silver-eyed thing wait, where was I? Stood in front of a shimmering mirror. The figure said, "You came with," oh my gosh, I can't even read my own thing. Uh, um, with a mortal creature. She helped me, said Lorian. The thing forced a laugh. "Let us in, Junie." The shadows thickened. It was midnight. Now everyone in town was asleep, except for Mira. She watched Junie slowly move away from the mirror, then he flew away. Lorian and Mira crossed the old wooden bridge. The door to the mirror throbbed open. They walked and walked. You're moving my whole entire body. Okay. Mira saw beauty in the mirror, but clocks ticked backwards and the old chapel windows seemed to watch them. They reached the next mirror in what felt like a heartbeat. Mira saw her own reflection in the mirror. Someone began to laugh, then grin. "Elmbridge," Mira frowned at a box and threw it at Elmbridge. They went through the mirror. In this mirror, they seemed to be lots of puddles and thick, sticky, cold fog that felt like fingers wrapping around their arms. Mira found a letter in her grandmother's old sewing machine that read, "Beware of the third mirror, where there lies Theo and Jane. They trapped, they trapped me. Beware." It felt like it had gotten darker. Mira took a big breath, then found her family dead, with her friends dead, and Lorian dead. She screamed, then saw Jane standing at the doorway with knives and blood stains on her so dark and blood stains on her glowing skin. That she took another step. Their powers disappeared. Then she ran to her dead mother and touched her cheek. She got blood. She got blood on her hand. She went up to the doorway and she banged on it. As soon as the blood dripped on the door frame, it opened. Who would have thought that the key was her relative's blood? When she stepped back into the forest, she woke up. It was all a dream, a really bad dream.
Oh, thank God.
All I could see there at the end was Shalon peeking over. Well, you got Stephen King vibes going on, girl.
Oh
Mhm.
my
No,
God.
but like, you know how it says that she has strange dreams?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what it is.
That's strange. That's straight up scary.
Scary. Yeah. Okay. My turn. Yeah, I realized that probably what I have done is change some of the words by like adding an S or an ED or putting it in a past tense or a present tense, something along those lines.
That don't matter.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Elmridge Chapel had been swallowed 14 decades ago. Fingers of fog reached for crooked clocks and windows. The reflection of twisted trees bridged the silver handwriting on the wooden door. 3 relatives disappeared into a cold and silent forest. Time was unclear to Jane, Theo, and Junie, since the dark and empty trees touched them. Grandmother's old letter was somewhere in those strange woods. Elmridge Town seemed to watch them as they crossed the bridge into the forest. Shadows thickened under midnight, and mirrors of puddle water shimmered at their feet. Theo gasped when a boy with eyes like mirrors stood near a crooked tree. "Say your name," said the boy. But Jane hadn't the key, only the letter, still sealed inside Grandmother's box. Junie felt her heartbeat throbbing like a drum. "Truth for truth," the boy grinned. "Give blood, break the loop, or stay." Time seemed to fold backward. Clocks ticked, and there were no windows, only shadows. Jane found the courage to bring out the box, her fingers shaking. Inside was Lorian's name, scratched in silver handwriting. "That's the key." The forest laughed, a sound wrong and glowing with shadows. Arms of fog wrapped around them as the door of the chapel cracked open. "Come," said the boy, and they crossed into the truth. Inside, mirrors lined wooden walls, showing not their reflections, but relatives they barely remembered. Faces smiling, but without warmth. Junie nearly hid her eyes, but Theo stood firm, staring until one mirror cracked. "Watch," said the boy. The puddle at their feet turned sticky and red, a blood puddle that seemed to show the town as it had been decades ago. Friends gathering at the chapel, laughter echoing under rafters, and then shadows swallowing them one by one. "You are the last. Break it or stay with them," said the boy. Jane dreamed that she had crossed the bridge again, but this time the trees reached for her, their fingers and arms, and she gasps, realizing the powers in the forest that wanted to trap her. "Leave!" cried Junie. She was clutching the letter to her chest. Jane tore it open. Grandmother's handwriting glowed with words forming. "Lorian is the key. Speak the name, and Elmridge will awaken." Jane spoke the name, Lorian, and the forest seemed to crack like mirrors breaking. Fog blew backwards, and the door to the chapel swung wide. They came running out into the town, now lit with living light, but it was still wrong. The boy was gone, the loop broken, but the town wasn't the same. Shadows clung to the corners of the streets, whispering in a language that wasn't quite wind. The crooked clocks no longer ticked. They throbbed, keeping pace with the beat of some unseen heart. "Did we fix it?" Junie asked. Jane opened her mouth to answer, but the word caught in her throat. Every window now held a mirror, and in each mirror stood the boy, smiling. "Truth for truth," said the boy, though his lips never moved. "You woke Elmridge, but Elmridge will keep you." Before any of them could run, the shadows stretched long and curled like arms. The 3 of them felt the ground tilt. The bridge was gone, the forest was gone, the chapel stood shining under an eternal midnight, and this time their own reflections filled the mirrors, still staring, forever watching and waiting. The end.
That was good.
Hey,
Mommy,
Okay.
you pull my hair.
So I'd say the closest is definitely Dee Dee's. It's really close. But they were all really good. Creative. Do you want me to read mine?
Creative.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is what really happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Name the movie reference.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No one ever went to Elmbridge after dark. The town had been empty for decades, ever since the fog shallowed it. Jane, 14, found a strange letter in her grandmother's old sewing box. The handwriting was shaky. Come to Elmbridge, midnight only. Bring no mirrors. It was signed Lorien. Jane had dreamed of that name for years. She showed it to her friends, Theo and Junie, and at midnight, the three of them crossed the old wooden bridge. The thought the fog was thick, cold and sticky, wrapping around their arms like fingers. Town the town was silent, but clocks ticked backwards. Windows seemed to watch them. They reached the old chapel. The door throbbed like it had a heartbeat. Jane touched it, and the wood shimmered. Inside, it wasn't a chapel, it was a glowing forest. And there, under a crooked tree, stood a boy with silver eyes, barefoot and smiling. You came, he said. It was Lorien. He told them the truth. Elmbridge hadn't disappeared. Witched mirrors trapped in a time loop to hide Lorien's powers. Only blood relatives could break it. Jane was the key. As she reached for him, Junie gasped. Her reflection in a puddle grinned wrong. The fog thickened, shadows twisted, and somewhere in the trees, cracked mirrors began to laugh. Three had entered Elmbridge. Now it was unclear if any of them would ever leave. The end.
Oh, that is so good.
Okay,
I like
wait.
how we all did we put the boy underneath a crooked tree.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was the crooked tree?
Is there a character named Mira in your story?
No! I didn't know.
So I'm looking at the story, right? And I see this other name in there. And then I see that there's like three of them. And I'm thinking, who's this other person? And she's like, no, it's just another character. I'm like, okay, whatever. All of a sudden, this person shows up. And then this morning, she comes out and she says, Mommy, you were right.
Reading it, and I was like, who is that?
And then you have Elm Bridge, but we have Elm Ridge. And what did you do to mix up your words?
I took a picture, and I was like, ChatGPT, can you scribble this?
So I was like, okay. So I don't feel so bad.
No, but like
I'm so
Mira
sorry.
is my main character.
That's okay.
Yeah. And
She was
I
on the
wondered
list
about
we
that.
got.
I
It was
wondered
on the
about that
list.
when I was looking through it and I came across that name. I was like,
Where'd she come from?
I'm like, okay, we got another character. I gotta put another character in here. So
It didn't even occur to me. I don't even think I listed her in mine.
You did.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know what happened.
She was a silent watcher, right?
Yeah, she was just watching in the shadows
She came out of the mirror.
the crooked trees.
It was fun. That was fun.
it was a lot of fun.
When I was looking at the words for the first time, I thought that crooked said crooked. I was just like, what's crooked?
Crooked would be something that got robbed, I guess.
Hold on.
Something that got bent, crooked.
Well, I guess it depends. Like the word BLESSED is blessed, but if when you're reading it from the Bible, it's blessed,
Blessed.
Yeah.
like crooked.
Wait. No.
Yeah, crooked means bent or twisted out of shape or out of place. Can also mean dishonest or illegal. Yeah.
Crooked.
Photography. I used to say that when I read it, and I was like, "Oh, photography."
Yeah.
I thought
To
they
learn how to
said
spell it.
photography.
What?
Said it helps you learn how
you,
to spell it.
Yeah,
yeah, that's how you learn how to
sound
spell
it
it.
out.
Hey, we were talking about that the other day, how people will use images to help you learn words or learn how to spell words. What are some things that you girls remember from school that, since y'all are still in school?
Mm. In first grade, my teacher said, if you want to learn your B's and D's, do this. Like from like here. And like when you're spelling bed, the B will be here. I mean, yeah, the B is here and the D is here. And it looks like a bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
works.
B comes before D, and that's at the head of the bed,
Yeah.
and D's at the foot of the bed.
And it's like you learn where they are. Like this
Yeah.
is D, this is B. So yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Um, I had problems with my silent K's.
Well, yeah, but I think everybody does when they first start learning.
When
Silent
they
K.
first start,
No,
yeah.
so you know what she told me? She said in my brain, get rid of the K.
Like no.
Yeah,
Like
I used to say canal, knife. What is the
Ah,
point of the K?
I used to spell of off.
oh,
You know, and I would
but
spell my E's only uppercase. I couldn't do a lowercase E.
what was the examples y'all gave? I'm trying to remember.
Well, for me, I said when I was in grade school and we were learning how to spell desert and dessert, that the
Oh yeah.
teacher told us you only want to cross a desert once, so it has one S, but you want to have two desserts, so there are two S's in dessert.
That
Yeah,
is
I had a
smart.
similar one. They said like you want 2 scoops of ice cream, so there's 2 S's in dessert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I won't eat your hair.
what is with you girls and the never eat soggy waffle thing?
Oh, that's north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
Why do you need that to learn north, south, east,
It was
west?
just when I was younger.
Because we can just say,
Or also
And
there's never
wait.
eat slimy worms. That's all.
there's NS.
Dee Dee knows about eating worms.
Wait, there's N
Wait a second.
NSEW. That just doesn't sound right.
Never eat soggy waffles.
Yeah.
You just say
Amazing.
north, south, east, west.
Oh my gosh. See, I can't even do it.
Dee Dee.
Kind of silence.
Spill the tea.
She wants to know about the worms.
Oh, yeah, I ate a worm when I was a little girl.
Oh, that's great.
What made
Keep
you?
talking.
Yeah. What made you think that you could eat a worm without pooping?
What? Honey, you eat anything, you're gonna discharge
Yeah,
it.
it didn't stop me from pooping because I ate the worm. That you know, but it's just I don't know. I just ate it. I don't know. It tasted like dirt.
Wait,
We should get food. Hi.
Right?
you gotta wait, put that in slow motion when you're editing. Make her go backwards.
When you leaned forward and you said, say your name, it reminded me of Labyrinth.
Whoa. Okay.
In the beginning, where the goblins are hiding like in the mirror or something, and they're like, say your right words, you know?
Say.
All right.
Oh my
Next
goodness.
week on Sister Sharpens Sister, I don't know where Anna went.
She's right
There
here.
she is. Next week, we don't know what we're talking about yet, but it'll be something. And when we know, you'll know. But we do have stories coming back in the month of October, so be ready for that.
I like to massage her nose.
Stop.
Can I?
Okay,
Can we go?
Till then, we will chat in our group, and I'll
Okay.
see you guys next Sunday.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Gaff Militia. Wait. Wait.
That's wrong.
My name's Wait.
Like
What-
the bath.
Wait.
Like goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.